Okay, so you want to take your job hunt global, huh? You've got your sights set on landing an amazing international job, and you're smart to be using LinkedIn to do it. We're diving deep into this cool guide you sent, 5 ways to crack a job internationally via LinkedIn. They've got some really solid tips, but we're going beyond the surface level here to see what makes these tactics really tick, especially on a global scale.
What's interesting is that people often think of LinkedIn as just a place to upload your resume, but it can be so much more powerful, especially for international jobs.
100%. It's like this whole hitting world of opportunity opens up if you know how to use it right. The first tip they hit on is optimizing your profile. Seems pretty basic, right? But they're not just talking about a fancy headshot here. The guide stresses the importance of a polished headline, but not just any headline. How do you make it stand out to those international recruiters, not just the ones in your backyard?
It's about understanding that for a global job hunt, your headline is your first impression, and it needs to pack a punch. Think of it as a mini billboard, not just your current job title. Are you fluent in multiple languages? Great, add that. Have you managed international teams? Include it. Anything that whispers globally minded or speaks to your cultural adaptability should be front and center. You want them intrigued before they even glance at your experience section.
So instead of marketing manager, maybe something like global marketing strategist driving growth in emerging markets, if that's your jam, right?
Exactly. Remember, recruiters are scrolling through hundreds, sometimes thousands, of profiles. You need something that makes them hit the brakes and want to learn more about you.
Makes total sense. Now, the guide's second point is networking, no shocker there, but with a global twist. They talk about the importance of connecting with people in your field internationally. Seems obvious, but why is that connection so crucial when going global, more than just a domestic job search?
Because every job market has its own little quirks, unspoken rules, even different expectations. But when you step into the international arena, those nuances are amplified. Connecting with people at companies in your target country is like getting a backstage pass. They can give you the inside scoop, things you wouldn't find on any job board.
It's like the guide mentions, joining industry-specific LinkedIn groups. Imagine finding a group for, let's say, UX designers in Amsterdam or biotech engineers in Tokyo. You're suddenly plugged into these niche networks, getting insights into company cultures, hiring practices, even visa sponsorship trends. It's gold.
It's incredibly valuable, and while you're building that network, points 3 and 4 come into play. Using LinkedIn's job board and building your personal brand. They might seem like separate activities, but they really work hand in hand, wouldn't you say?
Totally. It's like having a 1-2 punch. On one hand, you've got the job board, which, let's be honest, is a bit like looking for a needle in a haystack sometimes. The guide is spot on in recommending setting up those job alerts. That's just smart. But then you've got your profile, which is where your personal brand comes in.
Precisely. Think of it as your living, breathing resume, constantly updated and evolving. Sharing insightful articles about your field, commenting thoughtfully on industry discussions, it not only showcases your expertise, but also paints a picture of you as someone who's passionate and engaged.
It's like if you're interested in, say, sustainable fashion in Scandinavia, and you're sharing articles about their latest innovations in textile recycling or commenting on discussions about ethical sourcing, you're not just showing you're informed, you're demonstrating a genuine passion for that market.
Exactly. You become more than just a name on a list. You become a voice, someone they recognize and remember. Now, the final tip is engaging with recruiters again. Sounds simple enough, but the guide stresses being responsive, and I think that's where people often miss the mark.
Right. And responsiveness takes on a whole new meaning when you factor in time zones and cultural differences in communication styles. It's not just about replying promptly, it's about showing respect and a genuine eagerness to connect.
Exactly. Think of it less like submitting an application and more like starting a conversation, a dialogue that could lead to the perfect opportunity. And remember, this is a two-way street. Don't hesitate to ask thoughtful questions. It shows you're not just interested in any job. You're interested in the right opportunity.
So we've gone through these 5 tips, and what really stands out is how they all work together. A killer LinkedIn profile is useless without an active network, and vice versa. It's like this interconnected ecosystem for your international job search.
Absolutely. And while the guide focuses on LinkedIn, it highlights something crucial for any global job hunt: the importance of a proactive and engaged mindset. It's about building relationships, not just sending out resumes into the void. It's about understanding the nuances of different cultures and communication styles. And ultimately, it's about demonstrating a genuine passion for the work and the location. That's what truly sets you apart.